Hey, good evening. So I got this package in the mail today. It's a DHL envelope. I paid $10 for the shipping on this, and I got it within a week, easily within a week. So I got this box, and it has a shipping label with all the information. And inside of it, I found this. This is an excellent way to ship something. So this is all the things in the kit. Why I ordered this and what I'm most interested in is this. They call it a Radino. Not sure how to pronounce that. So there we go. So this is what I was most interested in. It has a nano. The headers are upside down, but I guess that's not a problem. So here we go. They've labeled it 257/7. I don't know what that means. But it has an interface to an LCD screen. Now that is a parallel interface to a 1602. Which leads me to believe, could I get a larger screen and put on this like a 2004? I don't think I can, because the 2004 uses a radically different interface. So this is the board that's got the nano. I assume that that is contrast, and that is a voltage regulator, I'm sure. So a pretty basic thing. Now this only goes on one side, so there is a space there. I think I need to get a spacer and put right there. It has all of these interface pins, and it looks like that goes to the controller, goes to some pin here that looks like an oscillator, and to several of these address pins. So we'll have to see what those breakout pins are. But overall, I'm impressed. Kind of nice. So there's the Radino. We have a big bag of parts, and we have the motherboard. So they taped it up, so let's cut it loose. There we go. So there we go. Now this is out of India. My impression of this board is very good. I see very good parts placement. Look good. All of these inductors look really good. Uniform spacing on the wiring. So we got it's supposed to be 11 bands on this. And if it's hand soldered, that is a very good hand soldering job. But I don't know if they hand solder it or if it goes through some production facility. And it says 218/7. I don't know what that means. I have to look up what those are. So it looks to me like you take this. Now, I read a review that says these were rough, and that one there might be considered rough. Looks to me like they have a long row of these, and they cut off how many they need. So I can see where that would get rough on the cut. So I'll line this up. Mount it. There we go. Now, I don't like that there has to be a spacer for this. But we can deal with that. That's no huge problem. And it says it comes with everything you need. So we have a bunch of interface connections. Let's see what we really got. I gotta tell you, I'm liking this. Looks to me like the developer is putting these out himself. That might or might not be true. So we have all of these connectors, and they give you the board side, and you have to solder to whatever. So these look the same. So I'm going to be careful. I don't like that. We'll have to find something really soon to brace that with. So these just go on like that. I'm not going to fire this up until I get all the wiring into it. And there's a header on top of this. Be sure not press against that. I don't like how loose that is. It feels like a good fit, but once you get it in there, there's a lot of wiggle up and down. So obviously we're going to have a front panel to help brace that. And we have two more. A 2 and a 3. The 2 is right here. I realize I don't have to plug these in, but I want to. This kit has what I consider to be a common problem with most kits. You have this nice clean board, nice display, and then we're going to have 50 cables come out of it. So how neat you make it is how neat you're going to route these cables to all the connectors. But I've got to find a case for it first. So it has standoffs to stand it off of a board. And that'll go in there. So I'm just giving first impressions. So we have a power connector, a pot, another pot. Actually, that looks to be a rotary encoder. 3 3.5 millimeter jacks. There is the microphone. So we'd have to take some time and mount that. There's a panel mount. There's a panel mount BNC. And one little micro switch. One diode. 2 resistors. 3 resistors. And the rest is hardware. Obviously 4 spacers for here, but they could also be 4 for here. We have to look at what they recommend and what works. But this is all hardware, screws and nuts. So there's the connectors we have, and here's all of the wires. So I bought the all band. I'm actually going to go ahead and buy the 40 meter that they have of this. More to get this right here. I think I could probably make this because it's basically the mount for the Nano, a pot for contrast, a voltage regulator, and that's kind of it. The board itself, it's kind of an ingenious setup. Ah, there's some stuff on the back. Looks like an oscillator of some type. .25 megahertz. So it does have some components. Looks like about 10-12 components. But this is all open source, so we can find out what those are. So if we wanted to make more of these, we could. I have a bunch of these 1602s, but in reality, they all have serial interfaces on them. So I have to pick up some that don't have serial interfaces if he wants to do this, or hack the code and write to a serial interface instead of a parallel. But then you kind of lose this cute little mount. So there you go. You could potentially keep it in this until you get a case. I'm not saying I'd recommend it, but it's possible. So I'm thinking that's not bad for a kit. It was $129. That includes shipping if you want it to go by India Post. And India Post, they say, takes 3 to 4 weeks, and there's no tracking numbers. So I paid the $10, which is kind of unusual for me. Paid the $10 shipping to get it here in a week, and it actually came in 4 to 5 days. So I'm pretty happy with this. Kind of a unique thing that all of the brains is in this. and then all the RF and stuff's down here. All the connectors you need, supposedly. We'll find that out. Interface cables, which actually this is a neat way to do it because you don't have to worry about soldering too much into the board. You just clip this on and it's removable. Really like the idea of this. Very innovative way of doing it. So there we go. First impressions. Literally a box opening and a review of what's in it. Nothing else. Next video I'll have this actually in a case and work on connecting all the connectors. I don't know what I'm going to do for a case yet, but stay tuned. So if you liked the videos, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.